Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another exciting episode on your journey to mastering English. If you're someone who dreams of speaking fluent, natural English like native speakers, then you're in the perfect place today. In this video, we're going to learn 15 powerful English words that are commonly used in everyday conversation, but that many learners overlook. These words will not only help you speak more naturally, but they'll also add depth and fluency to your English. So, grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's level up your English together. Let's begin. 1. Eventually. This word helps you talk about something that will happen after a process, effort, or time. Example: eventually, I started to enjoy learning grammar. 2. Apparently. Use this when you're not fully sure but something seems true based on what you've heard or noticed. Example: apparently they're moving to Canada next month. 3. Frankly. When you want to be very honest or direct. Example: frankly, I don't enjoy crowded places. 4. Rarely. This helps you describe something that happens very occasionally. Example: I rarely watch television these days. 5. Precisely. Use this to show exactness or clarity. Example: that's precisely the reason I chose this course. 6. Frequently. This word means often or regularly. Example: she frequently checks her messages in class. 7. Significantly. Use this to show an important or noticeable change. Example: his pronunciation has significantly improved. 8. Gradually. This is used when something happens slowly over time. Example: I'm gradually getting better at English listening skills. 9. Technically. Use this word when talking about something in a strict or exact way. Example: technically, you're not allowed to park here. 10. Undoubtedly. For showing complete certainty or strong belief. Example: she is undoubtedly one of the best English teachers. 11. Surprisingly. Use this when something happens in an unexpected way. Example: surprisingly, he passed the test without studying much. 12. Ideally. To talk about the perfect or best situation. Example: ideally, we should finish this project by Friday. 13. Effectively. To describe how well something works or is done. Example: she speaks so clearly and effectively. 14. Sincerely. When you want to express genuine feelings. Example: I sincerely hope you get the job. 15. Honestly. Like frankly, this shows you are being truthful. Example: honestly, I think you should take a break. Now let me tell you a little story. A real-life inspiration. There's a girl named Ayla. Like many English learners, she was stuck at the intermediate level. She could understand English, but when it came to speaking, she paused, hesitated, and didn't sound natural. One day, she decided to change that. She made a list of words that native speakers use all the time. Words just like the ones you've learned today. But instead of just memorizing them, she started living them. Every morning, she picked one word. Just one. She'd write it on a sticky note and stick it on her mirror. While brushing her teeth, she'd repeat the word. Then she'd try to use it in real-life situations. When she picked the word frequently, she messaged her friend saying, I frequently watch English videos to improve my skills. Her friend replied, Wow, that sounds so fluent. When she chose ideally, she told her classmate, Ideally, we should practice speaking every day. After a few weeks of doing this consistently, Ayla started sounding more confident, more fluent, and much more natural. She even started recording herself speaking for just 2 minutes a day using these words. That helped her gain confidence, and her accent began to sound clearer. Now it's your turn. Which 5 words will you pick today? Think about them. Write them down. Use them in your conversations. Talk to yourself. Record your voice. Write a sentence. Just do something with the word. That's how fluency begins. Remember, fluency is not about knowing 10,000 words. It's about knowing the right words and using them confidently. So, let's review quickly. Words like eventually, apparently, gradually, and effectively aren't just fancy. They are practical, natural, and powerful. Master them, and you'll transform the way you speak English forever. Chapter 2: Building Natural Fluency with Real-Life Conversations. Now that you've learned some powerful words to improve your English, let's talk about real-life conversations. This is the next step to mastering natural speaking. The key to sounding fluent is practice. And not just practicing alone, but practicing in real-world situations. One of the best ways to speak English naturally is by having conversations with others. And no, you don't have to wait until you're perfect. The more you speak, the easier it becomes. If you make mistakes, that's okay. Every mistake is a learning opportunity. Let me share a story with you about Max, a student I once taught. Max was terrified of making mistakes in his English, but once he started speaking with others, he realized something very important. The more you speak, the less you worry about mistakes. In fact, making mistakes was the fastest way to improve. Max began by speaking with his friends in English, even if they didn't speak fluently. At first, it was challenging, but gradually he got more comfortable with phrases like, "How's everything going?" instead of the stiff, formal, "How are you?" That sounds awesome. Instead of just saying, "That's great." These small changes helped Max sound like a native speaker. He was no longer afraid to speak, and his fluency began to soar. Tip: speak every day, even if it's for a few minutes. A major tip for speaking naturally is to speak every day, even if it's only for a few minutes. Whether you're ordering coffee at a cafe, talking to a colleague, or even chatting with a language partner online, consistency is key. And don't worry if it's not perfect. Perfection comes with time and continuous practice. To help you out, here are a few simple exercises you can do every day to keep improving. Shadowing. This means repeating after a native speaker. You can use TV shows, YouTube videos, or podcasts. Listen carefully and try to imitate the pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm of the speaker. Doing this regularly will help you sound more natural. Talk to yourself. Sounds strange, right? But actually, it's one of the best ways to practice. You can walk around your house looking at different things and describe them out loud. For example, "This is my coffee mug. It's really big, and I love using it every morning." This simple practice will get you speaking without feeling the pressure of an actual conversation. Record yourself. Record short sentences or dialogues and listen to them later. This will help you notice areas where you might be making errors and also track your improvement over time. The more comfortable you get with speaking, the more natural your English will sound. And don't forget, speaking in English is a habit. Like learning any skill, it requires time, effort, and dedication. Chapter 3: Mastering Intonation and Accent for a Natural Sound. Okay, so now we've covered hot real-life practice. Let's take it one step further. Intonation and accent. Many learners can speak English, but their speech still sounds robotic or stiff. The secret to sounding natural is understanding an intonation. Intonation is the rise and fall of your voice as you speak. It's how we use pitch and rhythm to convey meaning, and it plays a huge role in sounding natural. Native speakers don't just speak word for word, they flow and use different tones to express emotions, intentions, and emphasis. Let's take an example. If you say, "That's really good," in a flat tone, it sounds like you're not excited. But if you raise your pitch on the word good, it sounds like you're genuinely interested and happy. You might think this is something you can't control, but trust me, it's something you can practice. Start by listening closely to how native speakers say things. Pay attention to how their voices rise and fall with different emotions. Then, try to copy their intonation. Tip: focus on the stress and rhythm of sentences. In English, certain words are stressed, while others are said more softly. For example, "I'm going to the store. I'd like to go there tomorrow." The words in uppercase are stressed, meaning they are louder, longer, or said with more energy. When you can get the stress and rhythm right, your English will sound much more natural. Start by practicing short sentences that focus on stress and rhythm. Here's one you can try. "She's playing the piano at the concert." Focus on stressing the important words like "splayin'," "piano," and "show concert," while softening the other words. The more you practice this, the more fluent and expressive you'll sound. It's all about sounding natural and not robotic. Chapter 4: The Power of Listening to Improve Speaking. Here's a game-changing tip. Listening is just as important as speaking when it comes to sounding natural. In fact, the more you listen, the more you'll pick up the natural rhythm and expressions used by native speakers. One great way to practice listening is to expose yourself to different accents and dialects. This will help you understand how English can sound in various places and situations. Watch shows, movies, or listen to podcasts from different countries or regions. For example, American English has a smooth, faster pace with a lot of hide reductions. Words shortened in natural speech, like gonna for going to. British English tends to be a bit more formal and has a clearer enunciation. Australian English is full of slang and has a unique rhythm. Tip: watch movies and TV shows with subtitles. One of the most fun ways to improve your listening and speaking is to watch movies or TV shows in English. First, turn on the subtitles to help you understand. As you improve, try turning them off and see how much you can understand just by listening. You can also mimic the actors by repeating lines and phrases. Doing this will help you match their speed, pronunciation, and intonation. Chapter 5: Making English part of your daily life. To really speak English naturally, you need to make it part of your daily life. Think about the language you use every day, when you're at home, at work, or even when you're talking to friends. Can you replace some of these moments with English? Start by setting simple goals, like reading a short article or book in English every day, writing a journal entry in English, speaking to a friend in English for 10 minutes each day. When English becomes part of your routine, it's easier to speak naturally because it will start feeling like second nature. Got it. Here's a smooth and natural continuation to make your video longer without adding too many headings. This part blends in with your current script style, keeps the storytelling tone, and adds real value to your viewers. Now let's take a little deeper dive into how you can truly absorb these words into your daily English without feeling like you're just memorizing a list. Imagine this. You're walking to the store, and you decide to have a small conversation with yourself in English. You think, eventually, I'll be fluent. I just need to keep practicing. That's it. You've used one word in your day, and it felt natural. That's exactly what we're aiming for. Sometimes we learn new vocabulary, but we don't use it, so our brain forgets it. The trick is to catch yourself during the day and ask, can I use one of my new words here? And even if you're not speaking to someone else, just say it out loud to yourself. I had a student named Adil. He was shy and barely spoke a word in English. I asked him to choose 5 words a week and talk to himself using those words. He'd say things like, frankly, I don't feel confident today. But gradually, I'm improving. He used the words in honest, simple thoughts. After 2 months, he was participating in class and leading group discussions confidently. The change was beautiful. Another technique that works like magic is reading out loud. Pick any short article or story and read it out loud for 5 minutes a day. Try using the words we've learned. For example, read a paragraph and say, she precisely described how to make the recipe. Now say it again, with better tone, better flow. This builds fluency and rhythm. Listening is also powerful. Watch English shows, movies, or YouTube videos, but not just passively. Try to catch these new words. When someone says apparently or undoubtedly, pause and repeat it. Copy their tone, match their flow. This is called shadowing, and it's a secret trick many fluent speakers use to sound natural. You can also keep a word journal. Write a few lines each night using the new words you've learned. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. Something like, today I was tired, but I sincerely wanted to finish my English practice. That's it. 1 sentence a day is better than nothing. Fluency isn't magic. It's practice. It's small steps. It's speaking out loud when no one's around. It's trying, failing, smiling, and trying again. If you've made it this far in the video, I want you to write in the comments, I'm ready to speak naturally. Let's see how many of you are truly ready to level up your English. And hey, if this video gave you even one useful tip, don't forget to like it. It really helps the channel grow. Subscribe for more content like this where learning English becomes fun, practical, and truly part of your daily life. We're building a strong community of learners here, and I'd love for you to be part of it. Conclusion: keep practicing, keep improving. In conclusion, becoming fluent in English and speaking it naturally is a journey that requires dedication, consistency, and the right techniques. It's not just about memorizing words or understanding grammar rules. It's about truly immersing yourself in the language, practicing regularly, and getting comfortable with speaking in real-life situations. Here's a quick recap of what we covered today. 1. Mastering essential vocabulary. The words we learned today are not just for expanding your vocabulary. They're about making your conversation smoother, more engaging, and more confident. By using words like eventually, precisely, and apparently, you'll not only speak more fluently, but also sound more natural. 2. Speaking regularly. Remember, The key to fluency is regular practice. Whether you're chatting with friends, recording yourself, or even practicing alone, the more you speak, the more confident you'll become. Don't worry about making mistakes. They're part of the process. Every mistake is a chance to learn and improve. 3. Focusing on intonation and rhythm. Speaking naturally isn't just about the words you use, but also about how you say them. Mastering the rise and fall of your voice, stressing the right words, and mimicking native speakers will help you sound more like them. Intonation can change the meaning of a sentence entirely, so practicing this is crucial for sounding fluent. 4th, listening and absorbing English naturally. Listening to native speakers, whether in movies, podcasts, or conversations, will help you understand how English flows in real-world situations. The more you listen, the easier it becomes to understand and replicate these natural speech patterns. 5. Making English part of your daily life. To really make progress, you need to live the language. Read, write, speak, and think in English as much as possible. Surrounding yourself with English will make it feel like second nature. Whether it's reading a book, watching a TV show, or talking to others in English, keep it a part of your everyday routine. Remember, fluency doesn't come instantly, and it certainly doesn't come from just reading or memorizing grammar rules. It's a gradual process that takes time and patience. As with any new skill, the more you commit to speaking and practicing regularly, the faster and more naturally you'll improve. The most important thing is to enjoy the process. Celebrate the small victories along the way, whether it's using a new word confidently in conversation, understanding a movie without subtitles, or having a full conversation in English without hesitation. I know you have the potential to speak English naturally and fluently. Keep pushing yourself to improve every day. You don't need to be perfect. Just be consistent, practice as often as possible, and embrace the mistakes, because they're the stepping stones to success. Thank you for sticking with me through today's session. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We'll keep diving into ways to make your English more natural, practical, and fluent. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, where we'll continue to improve our skills together. Until then, keep practicing, stay confident, and remember, fluent English is within your reach. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.